coming, just like a Ferris wheel. They get old, they get old.
Dear idiot, we're coming to get you.
Who the hell did he say that he's looking for? And I ain't going out there, he ain't talking about me. Anybody ask me, you ain't seen me. I was down in the county, on my head was a bounty. Try to make bail today, and the cops pulled me over on a moving violation. Guess I better try to call Joe Ray, he'll get you out.
Virgil Hall. He is wanted out of Walton County. We actually bonded him out once before, and for whatever reason he failed to appear. We picked him back up and gave him another chance. So we're going back after him again because he, of course, failed to appear again.
Virgil Hall, wanted out of Walton County for charges of obstruction of law enforcement officer, I think possession of drug, paraphernalia, forgery, and a whole heap of charges. We had got word that Mr. Hall had moved from the Monroe area up into the Atlanta area, and the part of Atlanta that he was in was a pretty rough neighborhood.
Apartment complexes, man, son of a
Please don't say that.
that's cuz. Bro.
After 250 feet, turn right.
This is a good, isn't it?
Southeast.
I feel like I'm over here near you, where we have our
Turn right.
Lakewood, yeah. We are pulling up in an area that we are not used to being in.
Where you going, boy? He'll get you out.
I have never told James, but I bet you that in 30 years of me signing bonds, I bet you I've had 15, 20 body hunters. But you know, they tell you they know where the man's at. When he get there, all they want is money to gas money not to get down there. But when he get back, he wasn't there because they were scared of him when he got there, you know? So they always come back, you know? And I have run into that problem, you know, several times, you know? They want to be bounty hunters, but when they get down there, they didn't want to be a bounty hunter. They just come back without anybody.
Oh man, let's just snatch this.
Let's just get the hell out. Yeah, I'm around here. Even with you guys. This is a little scary.
We passed it. It's the first one. I don't know if I'm gonna let you get out on this one.
I can get out. Just to knock on the door. Oh, should I call 911?
You ever build a house on this street abandoned?
Should I just, I'm gonna go ahead and call 911.
Is there like a juke joint down through here or some?
Is this a bar or something?
Oh man, that's a house party, son.
Wait a minute.
That's exactly what
You
it
need to
is.
back up. Yeah, there it is right there. The house party.
Ain't good.
I bet you there's lots of people in there that have warrants.
Bruh.
Damn.
Left turn
Oh,
ahead.
get the
Terrace
Or that
Southeast.
looks like gang.
That is.
That is. This is not the side of town to be on.
This area, the street that we were on, it put everybody at a nervous situation. This area is, you know, notorious for robbings and a lot of murdering, shootings and stuff like that on this street. So it was a pretty intense situation. It's a street, a little small block, but it seemed like it took forever just to get to the location to pick Mr. Hall up.
Where you going, boy? He'll get you
It's so funny that it only takes him literally like a minute.
No,
to
I'm
fall
sitting here
asleep.
going, dude, you just got in the damn car and you already snoring. What the f, man?
We turned the corner. I looked back.
I was sitting there looking at the wall. I'm sitting. It ain't been 5 minutes since we left the damn bonding office. There you asleep already.
Gallow with his chainsaw snoring, bear growling, back there passed out. We hadn't even left the office, and I'm like amazed. As soon as we pulled out of the office onto the roadway, all I could hear was chainsaw, bear growling. Just he was out.
And he drank an
all that
energy
matters.
drink.
All that
You
matters.
done drunk 15 energy
When
drinks.
it's time to do what I do, I'm good at doing what I do.
Yes, you are.
As long as I'm riding in this punk car, then I can be asleep. There's no requirements, nothing I need to do
Until we
in the bank.
stop.
And when we stop, I'm up. Boom, no problem.
All that damn snoring.
You in your California Highway Patrol sunshade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 11:15 right here.
Okay, let's see.
11:13. So yeah, 11:21 is abandoned.
1121 is definitely abandoned.
James really didn't. He told me to stay in the car at first, and I told him I had this.
All right, this is what I want you to do. Hold on.
Hello.
Get turned around. That is 1128, ain't it?
Yeah, this right here was 11:28.
Is that somebody standing on the porch? Yeah, that's somebody standing on the porch.
You have any gone?
Not yet. That's him right there, ain't it? Gallow.
Gallow, wake up!
Look, you see him?
Yeah, with the long hair.
Yeah.
He's 280. Let me walk up like I'm gonna do something. If you let me first, then y'all come after.
All right, go ahead, because he can't go no further than that right there on that porch.
Don't let him see your foot.
Close the door.
Yeah,
That's it. All right. Now.
See your hands, man. Let me see your hands.
Take your hand
That's all I need. Hey, get on the ground. Get on.
Cops pull me over on a moving violation. Guess I better try to call Joe Ray. He'll get you.
When we, got to the location, we observed Mr. Virgil standing out in the yard. Tonya, got out of the car, walked over, and when we jumped out of the car on Mr. Hall had his hand in his pocket. That was a big concern for me. I didn't know if Mr. Hall had a weapon. I advised Mr. Hall to take his hand out of his pocket, and at that time I pulled my weapon because he didn't comply with taking his hand out of his pocket. Once Mr. Hall seen that I did have my weapon out, he did take his hand out of his pocket, and he proceeded to back up from me when I was giving him the command of, hey, let's just calm down, relax. If Mr. Hall had a little more room, I think Mr. Hall probably would have took off, but we wanted to go ahead and just contain Mr. Hall in that little small area and try to get him under control.
Listen, all right. Now.
See your hands, man. Let me see your hands.
Take your hand out the pocket.
Let me see your hands.
That's all I need.
Hey, get on the ground. Get on the ground.
I ain't did that.
Get down, boss.
I ain't did nothing, ball man. I ain't did that. I ain't did nothing, ball man. I'm at home. You got to kill me, boy. I ain't did nothing. Ball man, hold on.
Okay, hold on. Okay,
Let me know what's
look
going
at me.
on.
Just look at me. Just look at me, please.
I will comply. Just let me know what's going on.
What's your name?
Just let me know what's going on.
What's your name? Just tell me
Please,
your name.
brother, let me know what's
Hey,
going on.
I got you. Just pay attention to me.
Don't do me like
Okay.
that, man.
What's your name?
I'm at home, man.
What's your name?
Talk to my wife, man. I'm scared as
Okay, that's
I'm scared as There go my wife right there. No, I ain't did that. My hand down.
What's his name?
Come on now.
What's his name? Okay.
Okay, so what's going on?
All right,
Virgil, What?
We abided by everything.
No.
Put your cigarette down.
No.
It's gonna get bad real fast.
I'm telling you now. Just
Let me smoke my cigarette. What's going on though?
Every time.
What's going on? No, they told me I was all right.
Listen to me.
They told me I was all right, man.
Calm down. If you don't smoke a cigarette, you gonna smoke a cigarette and calm down.
Smoke a big on.
I'm telling you now, it's gonna get ugly for you if you don't want to comply.
Man, y'all gonna kill me, beat me
Bro,
up.
we ain't finna kill you. Mr. Hall was chanting out, "You're gonna have to kill me. You're gonna have to kill me." We're not in the business of killing nobody. We're not in the business of harming anybody. All we want is just, your cooperation, your compliance, to take you into custody and take you back to jail. You missed court or you didn't pay the bonding company. We're not a vigilante to go out here just beating up on people. So that was a little disturbing to me a little bit. But of course, as you can see, nobody shot Mr. Hall, or Mr. Hall wasn't even injured in no kind of way.
Grab me, bro. Bro, I ain't did nothing wrong, bro. I ain't got nothing on me or nothing.
Put your cigarette.
Let me smoke a cigarette.
Put your cigarette. Get on the ground.
Mario, stop! Mario, stop!
To the ground. On the ground. On the ground. To the ground. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that.
Please calm down.
I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. Bring your hand back. I ain't doing nothing. Back up, boy. Back up. Back up. Get your
Isaiah the kid.
I ain't did nothing.
Like that.
I mean, I ain't did nothing. I haven't done nothing.
Like that.
That's the whole thing. I haven't done. I ain't done nothing. You ain't finna beat my head like that. I ain't done nothing. I haven't done nothing. I haven't done nothing, baby. I ain't done. I ain't done. They gonna leave talk to me or something.
Give me a handcuff.
No.
Get off of him, bro. He didn't even do nothing. Calm down. He's calm. He's calm. I promise you.
I'm calm, sir. I'm calm. I'm calm down. I'm calm down. I'm calm. I'm calm.
Now listen to me.
I'm calm. I'm calm.
Listen to me.
Okay.
Face down.
Yes, sir. 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 I got you, sir. Yes, sir.
Baby, just lay on your
Okay,
stomach.
roll over on your stomach. Come on.
Roll over.
Come on. Don't get up. Just roll over on your stomach.
Bring that hand back.
It's all right, sir. Hold
It's
on.
okay.
Bring your hand. Let me get up.
No, you can't get up.
Listen.
Give me that hand.
Baby, you can't get up.
Give me that hand.
You can't get up.
Give me that hand.
Get your hand off my head.
Baby,
I got my hand in the ground.
Put your
Give me your hand.
Lay your feet out. Lay your feet out.
Give me your hand.
Lay your hand. Mario, we tried, okay?
There you go.
Mario,
Man, did.
you did the right thing, baby. Just stop.
Man, did thing. Lord have mercy. Why is my hand in the ground?
Because you
Get my hand off the ground.
All right, come on.
Oh, that ain't right. Oh, that ain't right.
Stand up.
All right, I'm finna stand up. I'm finna stand up. I'm finna stand up.
What's up, boss?
That shit ain't right at all, boy. Man, did baby. Up. Man, I'm finna get up, man. I'm finna get up, Bill. Let's go. Man, why they had the hell of me like that, baby? Well, I ain't did
Trying
nothing.
to do that to you.
I was outside waiting on them. That's man.
Ma'am, now I'm gonna ask you to stand back, okay?
Search my pocket, baby. You search my pocket, baby. Baby, search my.
We don't care. If you got something, we'll take it off.
Man, search my pocket. That ain't even thing. That that boy.
Bring me his black shoes, please.
Ooh, that.
Ooh, y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. This is wrong. Really? It's wrong for you not to go to court.
Ooh, that ain't right at all, boy. Ooh, y'all wrong, boy. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you, man. I told you, man. That was relax. I told you, man. I told they want y'all to come do that.
About all that.
Man, I told you, man.
Now hush.
Man,
You gonna ride with it? You wanna ride with it? Do you wanna ride with it?
That
Give it here. Do you wanna ride with it?
Here.
You wanna ride with it?
I ain't did.
Look at me.
Bro, I ain't did nothing,
Look
bro.
at me.
Bro, I try to respect y'all, man.
We gotta get him out of here. Let's go.
Okay, I'm going. Let me get a kiss.
Okay, we gotta go
Let me
now.
get a kiss.
We gotta go now.
Give me a kiss, man.
You got the shoes right there. Let's go and get the shoes on. Let's go.
Let's go, man.
We bring your shoes with us. Come on. We bring them with us. Come on. Let's go, big homie.
Yeah, boy.
Come on.
I told you what they were gonna do, man. I told you what they were gonna do, boy. Let's go. If you loosen my car, they hurt me.
We need you out of here now. Let's go.
Man, I told you what was going on, baby. That wrong, man. I ain't getting that wrong, man.
Other side.
I ain't did nothing wrong, man.
I have the public has on there. Why he didn't tell us we had a court case?
Quit handling me like that. Quit handling me like that. I ain't did that wrong.
Come on, man.
Quit handling me like that, bro. I ain't did that wrong, bro. Quit handling me like that, man. Well, what the with y'all, man? I'm also real that wait on y'all.
Let's go. Step in the
man.
I got you.
all the way over when you get in.
You gotta shut up. But that was all that did, man.
Screw all the dope.
You can't loosen
I'm gonna
up.
square your way. I'm gonna square your way. Hold on. Do me a favor. Put your knees in the seat over there and turn around and face me. There you go.
You know, I tell you what, I didn't think James was gonna be gone though 3 or 4 hours like the word. You know, I thought they'd be back here. But anyway, and I think he's the best bounty hunter I've ever seen. And what I like about what he done in that guy, he broke him down like a shotgun, you know. Had him all on the ground, and he said he hadn't done nothing. You know, I just don't understand all the people, you know.
Like I said, you sure about that? You scared? I'm for real.
Hey, bring it back to Mr. Hall here. I call about 30 or 45 minutes there.
Big Bird wants to sit down. Chill out for a minute. If you want to.
Bro, why is
Hold on there.